Well, good morning. It's barely still morning. We've already had a pretty full day, but Kimmer and I getting a couple of the mares saddled up. Yes, I am riding Molly these days because Kaylin has kind of stolen Ace away from me and turned him back into an eventing horse, or maybe it's into an eventing horse the first time. Anyway, but we need to go check cows. It's a beautiful day. The Pioneer is out of commission temporarily. We hope temporarily anyway. So we didn't need too much of an excuse to go ride on a day like today. So I hope she's out there getting on. But we're gonna saddle up and go check some cows. Getting all mounted up. All right. I'm gonna open gates, it looks like, because she's already mounted. How are y'all doing today? Yeah, we didn't start recording until later on today. We, of course, already did our morning chores hours ago. See if Jenny will come across that tape. Come on, baby. Right on over there to the gate. Oh, yeah. Oh, you get tangled up. But anyway, you see over there, we'll talk more about that later, but went and got a gravity wagon this morning as well. So I'm sure Kaylin will have something to say about that, about how I like to spend money. But that's also so I can go now spend some more money filling it up with corn so we can feed our steers, but so ultimately maybe we can make a little money. So gotta spend money to make money. Ain't that what they say? All right, you can lead the way. You rode back here the other day and checked them, didn't you? Speak up. Yes. You got to talk to everybody. So yeah, like I mentioned, the Pioneers temporarily had kind of a minor breakdown, but had to order a part. Like everything, I did the expedited shipping. The new part was supposed to be here today. Now it's not going to be here for 2 more days because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Today is the 23rd. But anyway, I'll ride back here and check on all these fellas, ladies and boys. Ladies and gentlemen, I guess is what I'm trying to say, boys and girls. See how the pasture's holding up, and yeah, just get a good look on all of them. Too, we've got some of those heifers that we just bought, bred heifers. Got 1 or 2 of them that should be getting fairly close to calf. I don't think any of them are just absolutely imminent, but we'll check them out. You gotta count them for me, okay? That heifer there, yeah, she's making a bag. Look at her rear end. Oh yeah, she got some swelling back there. I'm gonna go ahead and say that, yeah, today's the 23rd, today's Wednesday. Again, tomorrow, Thursday, Thanksgiving. She'll be calving before the end of the week. But it was 32, that'll make 33 coming up out of the creek right there. So that means, I hope that's 9 more over that way. See if we can get her to cross the creek here. We made this ride back here on Sunday, and took a little coaxing to get her to totally be willing, but that's one thing about Ace. He was pretty much more than willing to attack any obstacle. You done made it across now, baby. Up the hill. There we go. And 3, 6, 9, yep. So we can say that everybody's accounted for. Those first calf heifers, none of them have calved yet. Got one looks like it really could be any time now. And they've still got a fair amount of grazing out here, so that is good. Just continuing, the more and more I think about the hay situation, I'm just like, oh, just kind of sweat it a little bit, which if we run out of hay with just what we have got, that we baled this year, I don't know, I would hope my first call would be to my dad and my uncle, see if they had any extra they could sell to us. Yeah, and then it'd be starting to reach out to other contacts we have. But yeah, just seeing, reminding ourselves that those bales we're baling are a little smaller than the biggest rolls that we've fed in the past, and so they're not gonna, the 250 or so rolls we have of that is not as much as 250 of the large rolls. The little bit we're feeding to the bulls, which, speaking of which, I need to put them a roll out. They're going through it, a little faster than maybe you would hope, and so Yeah, if we can stretch out these pastures until, well, just as long as possible, we will be in a lot better shape. Kimber's showing us how she get her loper circle there. It's a big deal for her because Jenny is extremely lazy. It normally takes a lot of coaxing to get her out of a walk. And two, obviously Kimber's legs are getting longer now where she can actually get down there and kick her spur a little bit, keep her going. But anyway, nice little short ride. We didn't have to check too much, but it beats walking, right? We don't want to exercise yet. We're gonna stuff ourselves full of food over these next day or two, so we'll save all our exercising for after the holiday. Well, we ended up having to get our exercise anyway because I realized the mineral feeder was empty. And again, the Pioneer's gonna be down for another couple of days, so they wouldn't have died without mineral for another 48 hours, but we wanted to go ahead and get a bag put out, so made the short walk down here. Of course, they weren't completely out. That's why I do like to keep the blocks in there, but they didn't have any loose mineral. We wanted to do that. It's pretty nice having a cameraman. You like being a cameraman or a camera woman? Oh, all right. Yeah, got a little exercise in whether we had planned on it or not, but not much. So my cameraman left me. She was ready to go to the house, so back to self-filming. But yeah, the gravity wagon, went and got this morning. Kind of as the name implies, it's simply a gravity emptying device, basically a way for us to both store and transport feed or grain or all of the above. And in the case we're primarily going to use it, going to get corn, like for my dad and my uncle or another one of the local guys. It's got it stored in a grain bin, and then can bring it home. And this, it's no tarp or anything over it, but we'll just back it under the barn down there right next to where the feeder steers eat every day. And then when it gets empty, we can just hook onto it and go get more. Just a little heavier duty, little bigger capacity than our mobile bin. That thing, it just, especially when you'd filled up with corn, it always made me a little nervous going up and down the road. I don't know, it was really designed to transport weight like that much weight, as we've been doing. It had certainly been working, but anyway, now really what I'd like to do is I'm gonna try to catch up with them and see if we can possibly get some corn today. If not, we'll get some here in the next few days and go ahead and have them converted over to that finishing ration. What y'all thinking? Appreciate y'all not coming across that fence. So just put a little feed in there for the feeder steers, feeding them twice a day. Right now, as you may have just noticed, we're just feeding them that mixed ration that we get delivered in bulk. And then we added some of the high protein tenderloin pellets come from our co-op, and then add a little soybean meal as well to add just a little more protein. We'll start feeding them corn, which we won't go. We'll kind of slowly transition them from that mixed ration to corn, with those same high protein pellets and soybean meal. Just as soon as I get some corn, just stop and saw my uncle. Just here in the next few days, we'll be able to do that. As they start getting some corn out of the feed bin or out of the grain bins, they got some booked for December delivery, so they'll be having to do that anyway. That's where that gravity wagon will be so nice. We can just load it just like we would be loading one of their semi trucks. But yeah, these boys still a little shy. Today, like I say, it's Wednesday. We just hauled them home on Saturday, so out here within probably just a few more days, they'll be up here eating as soon as we pull up and start dumping the feed out. But, and of course they still, we'll feed them at least one more roll of hay, and one more may actually do it. That the feeding plan we use says first 10 to 14 days or so, keep them with free choice hay, and then we'll, eventually they'll be transitioned over to eating just a concentrate diet, as their finishing ration for, the last 3 to 4 months of their life. Over here at the water trough, let's see, they got a little bit of hay over here in there. Clean that out. But you see the little device we've got on there, that one's actually broken. Probably my fault. It got cross-threaded on there, so not really working. But I'm interested, if any of y'all ever used one of these, I do have a new one. It's called the Freeze Miser. And basically what it is, again, we'll get that new one out there. You put it on there. I'll show you with this old one. And as you can maybe be able to read on there, once the water temperature gets below 37 degrees, this thing starts dripping, just trickling water. So of course, to keep our water lines from freezing up. I like to use it, I guess I use these in 2 different places. I use one on the other farm where we've got a big water tank with float valve, and then I'll put one on this one as well. Our other hydrants, we just simply unhook them, when it's going to be frozen. But let's see if we can get this one on here a little more carefully than I did that last one. Be sure not to cross thread it. But yeah, I like to use those little wide joints because that way I can put that on there. And of course, as luck would have it, I got it in the mail today, and tonight's gonna be the first night in like the last 9 or 10 days where we're not gonna get below freezing, so won't really get something on the camera there, get a chance to test out just right away. But say, just cut that valve on and nothing's coming out because it's like 55, 60 degrees right now. So a lot warmer than it has been for the last few days. But that way, when we do have those cold nights, we don't have to worry about that freezing up. And especially when we get into like January and February and we get some of those cold spells where it doesn't even get above freezing for a few days. The water line stays open. They can heat, have fresh water. Too, with it dripping that water, it'll usually even keep the whole tank from freezing over. Now the open spot there, we won't have to chop. So used those last year for the first time, was pretty happy with them. Gonna use them again this year. But yeah, I'm interested if y'all have ever used them, have an opinion on them, if you liked them, or have any tricks or tips, anything with them. But yeah, it's another little way we try to make our lives easier. Now a couple of them decided they were hungry enough to come up here and get a bite, but anyway, we'll leave them alone. Getting chores done for the evening a little earlier than usual today. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, but tonight we're actually having one of our big family gatherings because a lot of our family works tomorrow. Multiple people in the family in the healthcare industry that, hey, somebody has to work Thanksgiving. So getting that done too. Something you may have noticed, Sadie not with me today. Actually, about 10 days ago, recognized that she had a tumor in her mouth. We biopsied it. Knew it was going to be some type of cancer. It was not the worst case scenario, not the best case scenario, but just the good thing you can say about it is a tumor that if you remove it in its entirety, she should be cured. The bad news, it is in the bone, kind of in her lower jaw, in the mandible on the right side. So I took her to a veterinary dental specialist, oral surgeon, where they're doing surgery on her probably right now. But say all that to say, A, that's why she's not with me right now. And B, I'm gonna have to go get her here in just a bit. And so getting chores done early so I've had time to get her. It's about an hour away, get back home, get her settled in, taken care of, and then get ready for family dinner tonight. But we'll definitely update you on her. I don't know, she's not a very old dog. It's a pretty radical surgery, but one that, she recovers from it, should have very good to normal quality of life for years, because again, we're not sure how old she is, but think she's only maybe 5 or 6 years old. So anyway, rambled on about that, but yeah, may just about wrap it up for this one. I don't know, I never know when I get into edit. Maybe just a little shorter video today, but I was off, I was getting some stuff done, definitely wanted to film. Be checking back with us. We're gonna hopefully be getting some corn by the time we get into this weekend, get that moved home. Still need to preg check a few heifers, like that one cow that's with the bulls. I have a sneaky suspicion that she's still not bred and there's something wrong with her and we're gonna need to get rid of her. But anyway, we appreciate y'all watching. Like always, we're thankful for our viewers here in this Thanksgiving season. Probably be the day or so after Thanksgiving before we get this one uploaded. So we hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. Hope you realize that turkey is trash. You don't have to eat turkey on Thanksgiving. Be thankful for whatever you have to eat, but hopefully some of you do like us and break tradition and eat a little beef, because as always, we'll remind you, eat beef and God bless. Happy Thanksgiving.